having sort of had that discussion about rays and milk and egg rickets, and so I dipped my finger in it. I had a sniff. I said, that smells like a bit like condensed milk. And so, channeling my inner Ed Ricketts, I had a taste.
Coffee's ready!
Right, cheers.
Cheers.
Indeed.
For this one, I was chatting with Will White about uterine milk and different reproductive strategies.
Yeah.
I like to draw your attention to Fishes of New Zealand. You are an author on this book, are you?
Rumour has it, yes.
Yeah. And just page 163.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Volume 2.
Yolk smells and tastes like sweetened condensed milk. A.L. Stewart, personal comms.
Yeah.
Have you been tasting the sharks?
I think we have to have a public.
Go on, here's your
notice
defence.
here.
Here's your defence.
If you're at all squeamish, turn on to concert radio, do something for the next however many minutes. This one, you could have the same effect as had on my colleague who was working with me. Now, this story goes back, actually has its origins with Ed Ricketts, which some of your viewers and listeners will know had teamed up with John Steinbeck to produce and catch animals for distributing on the west coast of America to the universities, museums, whatever. And Steinbeck actually had a degree in marine biology.
He was keen.
Yeah, he was. And wrote Cannery Row, and Doc in Cannery Row is accepted to be Ed Ricketts. And they were great mates. They went off and had great adventures. But the story is told, and I don't know if it's apocryphal or not. Ed asked the question, why does nothing eat nudibranchs? I mean, there they are. They haven't got a shell to save themselves, and they're brightly coloured, sort of going, ooh, look at me, look at me. You know, you're just asking to be eaten. So how did Ed find out why nothing ate nudibranchs?
He tried one.
He tried one. He popped one in his mouth, and very quickly find out why nothing eats nudibranchs, or very few things eat nudibranchs, except perhaps other nudibranchs. So that's where the origins of this.
That's how you're starting your defence.
That's how I'm starting my defence. Yes, I'm sort of tapping into my inner Ed Ricketts. So back in the old building we had in Taranaki Street, downstairs we used to have the big thawing trays, and I had a volunteer, Michael Manning, and he would come in and just help me do the donkey work. It was great, really good having an extra pair of hands. And we were working there one day, thawing a whole lot of stuff, registering it, tags on it, tags in it, going into formalin. And this conversation came around to, what is a fish, what defines a fish, what defines a mammal. And I said, one of the traditional ones that I was always taught that we know is no longer correct is, mammals produce milk to nurture their young. But of course now we know pigeons produce milk in their crop. And at the time I sort of said to Michael, I've just finished reading a paper where someone had found that there was a species of ray that produced milk that the young sort of swam in and drank, which was kind of incredible, really. And in amongst all the stuff we were thawing, there was a great big seal shark, Delicious Licher. And this was about 1.8 metres long, hefty, full-grown, female. And so I said to Michael, the formalin is not going to get in before it starts rotting from the inside. So I'll open up the belly on the right-hand side so the formalin gets in. I was a little bit too keen with the knife, and she was carrying a load of pups, and I burst the candle. And there's all this white yolky stuff just went everywhere. And I said to sort of Michael, having sort of had that discussion about rays and milk and Ed Ricketts, and so I dipped my finger in it. I had a sniff. I said, that smells like a bit like condensed milk. And so, channeling my inner Ed Ricketts, I had a taste. Michael sort of went that colour, and I sort of at that point had to sort of say to him, do you really think you're cut out to be a marine biologist?
If you think it's somehow strange that I'm drinking the shark milk, then maybe you should pick it up.
But yes, that was my experience of it, that it was slightly fishy, sweetened condensed milk.
Okay.
So maybe we're all fishes. maybe that's the truth of the matter.
Oh, there's plenty of examples of things that
Yeah.
do sort of milk-like substitute. I always like the discus fish. They make that nutritious slime, and all the young cling
to the side of it,
adults.
and yes, this might be less of a mammalian feature and more of a chordate feature. So that was my experience. I can't say I've had the opportunity to try other shark species.
Shall we write a review if you do?
Yeah, I can sort of like wine tasting.
Yeah,
sort of
good years.
Have a sniff, roll it around on the palate. The beauty being I don't have to spit it out because,
I don't know what law you've broken, but I feel you should be in jail.
You think I should? Excellent.
It's there, it's published.
I published it. I couldn't resist. I published it. I thought, here's some information nobody knows anything about. Let's put it in here.
Who knows what would be useful?
Yeah, who knows? Monday it might be useful indeed. The upside of it was the shark was well pickled, and in the burst candle we removed all the little juveniles and registered them, and they're now in a jar. So we've got half the juveniles in a jar and half are still with mum. So yeah, it's win-win all around, mate.
There we go. A truly unique coffee with Andrew.
Strange but true.
There you go.
Yeah.